Hello everybody and welcome back to Letterboxd Book Club. My name is Claire.
And I'm Mackenzie.
And today we'll be discussing the fourth book in Raven Kennedy's The Plated Prisoner series, Glow.
Glow.
I need to space it out, otherwise it sounds it's like in one full cohesive thing and it just doesn't seem
Raven
right.
Kennedy series, Glow. Okay, shall I start us off with the description? I was nothing but a road to Midas, a means to get where he wanted to go, and I paved that path in gold. My life has been made up of gilded lies, but death has been shaped from rot. Like a phoenix caught fire, I will need to rise from the ashes and learn to wield my own power, because my wings may have been clipped, but I am not in a cage, and I'm finally free to fly from the frozen kingdoms I've been kept in. Yet the world doesn't want to let me. That's the thing when you turn against a king, everyone else turns against you. Good thing I have a different king in my corner, but even with the dark threat of Slade Ravenger, the other monarchs are coming for me. So I will fight for him and he will kill for me, and if we need to become the villains, then so be it. Because so long as I live in this world, I won't be used again. Please note, this is an adult fantasy series with dark elements that may be triggering, including past emotional, physical trauma, violence, adult language, explicit romance. Read at your own discretion.
I feel like at this point you know what's up when you read this book.
Yeah. This is the fourth book. Like, if you're complaining that it's triggering at this point,
That's on you.
Yeah.
Alright, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, Kinsey.
I
I like how we're turning this into a bit of a game, if you can let it out first.
Yeah, well, you caught me right as I was taking a sip of my tea.
Strategic.
This is a book. This is pages. This is words on pages. I enjoyed it so much as, so far as it was progressing the plot of the overall story. It very much suffers from the last 100-page syndrome.
Of course.
I felt like there was a lot of plots going on, but not a lot actually happening. And then the queen, it's been a long time since I've read it. What's her name? Melina?
Yes. Yeah.
That stuff was built up so much for it to end on a cliffhanger, which you kind of knew was coming anyway. Like, you knew what was happening, and then it just ends on a clean cliffhanger, and I was like, well, I don't care about her anyway. So, not sure about that one. And then, yeah, I felt like the big reveal about why Rip is called Rip was a bit stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, once you find that out, you're like, well, I can see once again where this is going.
Yes.
But I'm interested to see where the next book comes in to play.
I suppose, yeah, it's getting that more interesting now with, the Fae has super involvement, I guess, and you want to see where that goes and what their sentiments are and all that type of jazz. But yes, my thoughts, feelings, and emotions. I say this with 110% disrespect in my vibrant being. This book did not need to be 700 pages. I don't know, it was a lot. I feel like we were introduced, I suppose I don't think we needed the Osric point of views, and I think that's what pissed me off the most, because it's of course you're curious about Rissa's journey as well, because they stumble upon each other and, he brings her back and everything. It's I would have liked that surprise and that, the wonderment of, oh, where is Rissa and Polly? And then they just rock up and Oren, reunites with them accordingly. But yeah, I don't really care about Osric's chapters. Queen Melina, I don't know, she's just so stupid. There's a lot going on, but I suppose it all kind of leads to the same thing ultimately. And yeah, I was a bit stumped with the whole Rip revelation as well, with his tearing into the world thing. Ripped, whatever. But you don't think of it as a rip, you think of it as a tear, an interdimensional or interworld tear.
Exactly.
I think it's almost like the other three books, it's stagnant, but only, weirdly productive towards the end. And it reminded me a lot of, A Court of Silver Flames in that sense, if you're not familiar, I suppose.
And it reminded me a lot of the Flesh in the Fire of the Shadows that we know.
You mean
those books.
The prequels, or just the whole From Blood and Ash series?
The prequels.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just all very reminiscent of that. Obviously Oren is in her shell and she's being encouraged to train and hone in on her magic, and it's it was just a lot of pages, and I get it that she needs the time and the development, but it got to a moment where it was all right, the advisory meeting is coming up, you need to snap into it, and then suddenly she's able to really focus and do it all. So I don't know, the pacing, I don't know, was weird and threw me off a little bit. But yeah, other than the last 100 pages and the forwarding of the Fae plots and everything leading to Anwen. Like, I enjoyed that because that's what we want at the end of the day. And, like, I don't know, maybe I didn't care enough about Queen Kyla and all of her, I don't know, directions and how she assumed, like, leadership. Like, could we have found that out through Oren at the end? It's like, oh, there's a new young prince here. Like, what the fuck is his deal? Did we need to really know every single aspect of what's going on? It's weird to say, because normally I'd be like, I would like to know what's going on, but I don't know, for this, it just felt like it was too much.
And then also all the stuff at the end with that weird religious-y cult
thing
Jesus. Going on. Like, it just reminded me of the shame from Game of Thrones. But yeah, so there's this advisory meeting or whatever, or you've been called forward to answer for your crimes, and now suddenly there's this, third-party overseers punishment cult.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, I was told that I was going to be coming here to be on trial for my crimes. I wasn't told that I would be stripped of my dignity, and now suddenly there's magic, like extra weird runes and stuff. I felt like, there was too many stories going on all at once.
I suppose that's just the thing with, like, the big high fantasy-esque nature is, like, you gotta have a lot. At least for the most part, like, a couple of things have led to the same place. Like, obviously, Melina's direction ended up bridge and everything and connecting to Anwen, and then obviously Rip and Oren ending up in Anwen as well. So, but yeah, everything else is interesting as fuck though. But yeah,
I want to talk about Osric for a second. And Rissa, I am so motherfucking sick of these motherfucking whores and these motherfucking men. Why are these women who have been sexually abused, let's call it what it is, for all these years, and now suddenly the only way that they can heal is that they need
a relationship.
Yeah, they need a relationship. They need a man who doesn't want to just fuck them to fuck them,
It's the bare minimum, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's attractive because they don't want to.
But they do, that's the point. Like, they want to fuck them, but they want to fuck their personalities, not their vaginas,
And they want to fuck them respectfully and consensually. Yeah, look, I don't really care about Rissa's motivations and her little side plot moving forward. I just hate the fact that, like, they still don't necessarily respect or see Oren as a friend. They both kind of use each other, because Oren, she wants the friendship, but then, Rissa just wants her to get so she could leave her contract, and then Polly is just... I loved when Polly was said to Oren, like, or even to Rissa, like, I like being a saddle, it's what I'm good at, it's what I thrive in, and I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
But, like, you still don't have to be a bitch to Oren.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hated how they kept getting book page time when we know that they don't care about Oren and we don't care.
And just Polly was so insufferable. And I was like, we get it. You were dragged away. You liked being on drugs. You liked fucking... That's fine. How about, instead of just fucking complaining about it the whole time, how about you just up and leave?
Yeah, and then that's what... once she got a coin, off to the nearest brothel she went, And that's her right. It's just how it's just how they treat Oren, and, like, Oren's just trying to do best by them. But to be fair, Oren shouldn't be making those assumptions, because Rissa was also making the assumption that Polly wanted to be saved or rescued as well, but no. She just has a completely different idea of what life she wants to lead. And that is her right. You shouldn't be making those assumptions. But then Polly isn't outwardly in the last book being like, I like being a whore. Although I suppose the signs were there. Because she does brag about, how she's really good at it and she thrives on that attention, and she loved it when she was, personally servicing, like, Midas and all that type of stuff. So, like, the signs were always there. Oh, yeah, I would have liked to have seen that reunion without the prior knowledge that Osric and, like, picked them up along the way. I feel like, I don't know. And then, instant love, essentially. Like, they're mean to each other. Of course they're gonna end up fucking at some point.
Alright, let's talk about, as well, Oren. I just found all the females in this book insufferable in this one.
What was it about them?
It's just, they pretend that they're so powerless.
Right.
After she's woken up. Yeah, woken up. Like, she's so terrified of her power. And wasn't she already terrified of her power? And now she's seen what it can do.
It's just like Carneth all over again is what she described.
Yeah. But you overcame that. And and I just don't like, she's had that power for, 10 years?
Yeah. Or you would argue even, like, as she was growing up, I guess.
Yeah. Would you not have the forethought to think that maybe, oh, it's part of me, I'm in control of it, if I just think that, like, because she's so emotional, it's overpowering her, I get it. But then suddenly Slade's like, baby, you're in control. Here, this is how you learn to put it back inside yourself, just like you put my peen inside of you.
Oh my god. Kenzie, we're going to sound like the other podcast. Relax. Maybe she just needed that guidance. Like, it's pretty, I reckon, if you're in any fictional situation or in a situation where you have magic and you don't necessarily know how to control it or whatever, like, you're always, going to be a little bit fearful, but perhaps all you ever want is, like, just proper guidance. But yeah, I understand. Yeah, like, she's gone back in a shell. Like, once you've exploded like that, in the moment, like, you felt kind of good. You've enacted your revenge. You feel powerful. You feel unstoppable. Like, how do you go back into your shell like that? But then again, it's just all about the control.
And especially after the whole last book, where she's pushing back against Midas. Yeah, like, forming this backbone. She's standing up for herself. She's telling him, things are going to change, blah, blah, blah. And then when she finally kind of, acknowledges that she has the power and she ultimately kills him, then suddenly she's thinking down that path of, oh, I don't want my power. I don't want to use it, blah, blah, blah. And you've already gone down that path, love, and you've already accepted it, and you're already thinking you've already used it to your advantage many times now. You can't just backpedal like this. Can't backslide. You
think it's weirdly kind of like inconsistent? I think what I've always said is, like, sometimes with female main characters, authors or like write them to be broken, and like audiences love to see, like, I don't know, broken female characters like overcome adversity and all the trauma and stuff.
But she's already overcome the adversity. I know, that's the issue.
Yeah, I know. The reason why it reminded me of A Court of Silver Flames, like, it's very Nesta-esque. Yeah, like, all the training and all the honing in on the magic. Sure, you've gone out of control twice now, but now that, Slade's willing to help you and teach you and guide you, like, you trust him, trust the process.
And she was just so resistant to that process as well, until they fuck.
But I suppose maybe the whole putting into stasis thing was probably added to it as well, perhaps. Added a bit of fear element.
Let's talk about, now that we're here.
Let's unravel Slade's secrets.
Yeah, no, not yet. The piece of rot that stayed inside Oren, that isn't causing her anything, that isn't addressed, that we haven't received any more information about.
Not yet.
I don't care. Okay, I don't care about the yet. I don't care that there's another book. Don't hype this thing up for this entire 700 pages. I can't get this piece out of her. I've tried everything. I don't know what it's doing.
Politely argue. I have a defense for this. Oh, it's probably not really argumentatively defensive, but at the end, when Oren's strapped to the chair and there's runes under her, and the runes essentially reveal, like, what type of magic is within a person, and the gold is, like, seeping out, there's a bit of black within the gold, so I feel like that's part of the rot that's, like, connected to her. Like, I understand that. I understand what you mean, how, like, we don't know what it means yet, but, like, it's there. Like, she could probably manipulate something eventually.
Okay, yes. I understand that it's there, but it's perceived as this negative part of her now, or, like, thing that's happened to her now. And Rip is under the assumption that there's nothing he can do, blah, blah, blah. My theory is, it's because they're mates.
Okay.
And Allah like calls to like.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking that eventually they're going to be able to combine their powers. Or, whoop-de-boo.
What a word.
Oren is going to be able to use that little tiny piece inside her to re-rip a rip in the world and come back. I just like a rip.
You like the word rip.
Rip.
Pop that P.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously it's going to play a major part, potentially, in gold. Like, I'd be an idiot if nothing happens.
If we had maybe gotten a little bit more information around it, or if, apart from that one mention of there was something coming out of her power, or whatever, if that there was an explicit scene towards the end or something where she went to use gold and it was rot instead.
I think ultimately it just comes down to her just not knowing how to really tap into it. And obviously Slade doesn't know how to get rid of it properly. And like, if Slade doesn't know, then who is gonna know?
Even like, I don't want her to, if she wasn't aware of it, if she went to use a gold, rock came out instead, and then that was the cliffhanger.
Right. Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't explored enough in the 700 pages.
I think it just adds that level of broodiness and mopiness towards Slade and his savior complex. It's going to be forever that symbol that, like, he thinks he hurt her and he could have saved her and he could have helped her, you know? It's just to make him a sad boy. And that's why everyone loves him, you know?
We love sad boys.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll play a bigger part in Gold. If not, Raven Kennedy, what are you doing? What's going on?
When does Gold come out?
In December. It didn't 7th of December.
That's near my birthday.
Yeah. It's early. I remember you being explicitly upset because you felt like you've rushed the series.
Yes, I have. And I stand by that.
Fair enough. Lovely. Yep, hopefully it comes into play. Obviously, Oren still has a lot to learn about herself and her magic. Do you have any qualms, Kenzie, about the book? I forgot to add that in. We're a little bit flat tonight, but that's fine. It doesn't matter.
We've had a big weekend.
We actually really have, yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of recording, not partying.
Yeah. We don't party. Yeah, so I've just said, like, after book 1 and book 2 kind of setting up, and book 3, kind of setting up for these big reveals and stuff, and especially book 3 and Oren finally, you know, kind of exploding with her power, I felt like this book just feels, really slow.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I have a note. I was like, Oren is back in the same position she started in Midas's cage, and I was like, that's wrong.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have felt like it emotionally.
Yeah,
like she doesn't want to use her power.
My books mixed up.
Perhaps. But yeah, one qualm of mine is it's becoming a trope when the tragic main character, whether male or female, you know, is exploding with magic, and then next minute they have to bang their lover, and then suddenly they've calmed down again. It's happened in House of Breath, Sky and Breath. I'm sure it's happened in From Blood and Ash series, even potentially the prequel, and now this, and like it's becoming a thing, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I'm sick of Oh, sorry, no, you go first.
I was gonna say, imagine real life, someone's having an outburst and like their lover is just like seducing them to calm them down.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't work. So if that doesn't work in real life, like why does it work in fiction? It annoys me. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
It reminds me of the trope of like when someone's having a fight or whatever. And it's like,
I know.
This isn't you. Just look at me. It's just me and you, baby. It's me and you. Like,
yeah, the focus. Yeah.
Yeah, and same. I'm tired of sex kind of being the be all end all of I can't control myself, or I'm in a highly unregulated state, or I'm highly emotional, or something is going wrong. Let me fuck you. It's giving his moans of pleasure drowned out the sounds of the dying.
Yes. This is the second time you've brought that up, I think, within this as well. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just becoming a whole worldwide media thing. Like, if someone is extremely emotional or they're going through something, I understand, like, sex can be used as, like, a distraction, and, like, people, you know, want to feel something at the end of the day, but I'm just seeing it too much, and I'm just getting a little annoyed.
Yeah, and sex is fine. We all like sex, whatever. But I'm kind of over...
too convinced.
I'm kind of over the kind of gratuitous sex scenes. I don't need, once again, 1 star for cock. I don't need, explicit details of sex. Sometimes I like showing and not telling.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just feel like it's a bit much.
Yeah, I was going to say, it may be a 1 star because of cock, but it's 5 stars because there was no mention of the word cunt. So I think we're a win. Or we bring it to a 3. Yeah. Bring it to a 3.
And because I just think as well, and I say this about every kind of romantasy book that we read, when it's set in these kind of, fantasy realms, would you use the word cock?
I don't know, maybe.
Would you use the word pussy? Or, like, would you use the word cum? I don't know.
I'm sure Game of Thrones have done it. I'm sure there's many scenes where the mentions of cock and cunts, though, so that's probably where it stems from. It's realistic, Kenzie, but we will never know that.
Why don't I just insert... Oh, okay. How about I shift to the realm?
Alright.
Yeah. And then I'll come back, I'll let you know.
I just realised why.
You just realised? I'll go spend 6 months there.
Kenzie. But don't write about a traumatic experience if you're going to get upset.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn, it's been a long time since I've heard anything related to shifting. Jesus Christ.
I just came back from 6 months at Hogwarts.
God damn. We're leaving that behind right now. Moving on. I really liked about this book, though, is how Slade and Oren declared how, like, unapologetically, like, villainous they will be for each other. And I thought that was excellent. Like, I loved that vibe. Like, they'll kill for each other and they'll, like, do what it takes to make sure each other is safe.
Okay, but this is the thing. There's you're not being a villain, though. You're defending yourself and your honour.
I know, that's the thing. But obviously, the whole society of this world has skewed and, you know, are believing the rumours and the outright lies. Like, to them, they have to be the villains. And, like, I loved that dialogue.
Okay, but again, it's giving, maybe I am weird. Have you ever thought of that?
Alright.
I don't know. I mean, when I think of, okay, I'm going to be the villain, I think of Zaid now. Like, I'll stalk you. I don't think Slade and let me go and hurt someone because they hurt you and tried to kill you.
I know it's not villainous, but I liked the vibe that they're willing to, obviously go against the world despite them essentially defending themselves. Like, they know the truth and we know the truth as the reader, but I liked that they were willing to, like, go to great extents in essentially destroying the world for each other. I love that sentiment.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course they have to be mates of sorts. Just quickly circling back to that, because the way Slade, you know, talks about her, and when they were in the carriage, fucking in the carriage, that why?
Yes,
first
why?
of all, and he had that whole conversation because Oren had a bit of a meltdown, being like, she's doubting herself again because she feels like she is bouncing between, like, the rich and powerful man to another rich and powerful man, and to Slade as well. But then she's like, I want to be free, I want to kiss a stranger, and then Slade's like, I will let you do all these things. Like, I will let you explore whatever you want to explore, just so long as he gets to be the one to be there at the end of the day. Like, it's sweet, but yeah. I know, I liked that. Not the fucking in the carriage, though. That was really weird.
It's giving From Blood and Ash.
Exactly, straight after the battle. You just killed the lady of the house's carriage. Or you killed her and you fucking her carriage.
You can see, now especially that we're well and truly into this romantasy realm, you can tell when the inspiration strikes from other books, and especially when they're all kind of recommending each other as well, and
so a lot of similar elements and motifs and things.
Yes.
Like there's an underground, like, special, like, cave sauna, you know, you know where that is, or it has to be in a lake of sorts. So we've got the carriage,
magic water,
everything, the whole, like, you know, bearing themselves to each other, like, because they both have their own scars in a way. It's like, but I think that's what everyone likes about it as well. Like, they like, the broken characters and how they can heal together. I don't think Slade's necessarily broken, but, like, that's fair enough that he feels that way. And now I just remembered that Slade has a whole, like, his whole, like, backstory has just been revealed as well, and he has every right to be upset and feel guilty. Let's talk about Slade, because let's unravel Slade's
Well, I was going to
secrets.
say, let's talk about, what is it, Driftmark, Driftwood, Redwood, Bone City?
Deadwell,
that's the one.
Drollard Village.
Driftwood. Yeah, let's talk about Deadwell and Drollard. First of all, how fucking depressing does that sound?
You're just stuck there forever, essentially.
What did you think was going on when the people were all weird and...
I had a feeling there was a magical aura about the place, obviously. Not to the extent that, you know, it's pretty much leaking Anwen's, like, long life magic, essentially. I knew that at the end of the last podcast, I think I made a guess that they're going to go to Deadwell, and you were a bitch and tried to misdirect me. But I was correct. I feel validated. It seemed like the obvious place. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was just obviously it is some secret village, but I think nothing too much of it. Until obviously it's later revealed as to who the people are to Slade and what they mean in his personal endeavours.
Thought that they were all kind of going to be fae.
Yeah, I thought that too, actually, yeah. I'm like, this is a secret fae village, surely.
Yeah, but no, it's just secret mortals, but they live long.
Yeah, they were reaping the benefits of being in Anwen, originally being Orions.
Yeah, and gifted long life.
Yeah.
What did we think of Slade's mother?
The poor woman, though. The poor woman.
There's a lot going on there, isn't there?
She just lost her magic, and she just decides to be, like, selectively mute. I don't know if she chooses to be mute, essentially.
Well, yeah, Slade just says that since everything, she just doesn't talk as much.
Which is fair enough. Like, I wouldn't want to say another word for the rest of my life, either.
But I would have liked it if she had said something to Oren. That would have been a cool moment.
Would have been sweet. A couple of words, perhaps. But I don't know, it seems very main character-y if, like, she's never spoken a word to Slade for a long time, then suddenly she says something to Oren. Like, I feel like if anything, Slade deserves to have a motherly word reassurance, you know? Or even Riot. Oh, Riot was so pissy this fucking book. I swear to God, I wanted to kill him.
And also I hate the misdirect of, what are you going to tell Oren about her?
Yeah. It's
like, okay,
here we go.
Obviously he doesn't have a secret lover. Obviously. Like, you should have just said, when are you going to tell her about Mum?
Mother dearest. And Riot has every reason to be protective of the village, but like he's just being a pussy bitch, like always questioning Slade's rules as Ravenger and just his kinglyship, and it's like, you've been fine up until now.
But she's like worried that Oren's going to lose control of her power again, etc. But it's, you know, Oren only quote unquote lost control of her power because Midas was kind of threatening to kill Slade.
Yeah, like, if anything, you need that weapon on your side, and obviously don't piss off Slade, and then you won't have a pissed off Oren. It's great, yeah. But, it was nice meeting Mother, although heartbreaking and devastating. Must be nice. Yeah, tragic. And it sucks that, like, she has no magic anymore, because she was described having, like, a really cool magic. Like, she was able to, like, commune with the god and goddesses and deliver messages or prophecies about people, which is so cool. And then now it's gone. I don't understand why.
Now it's gone.
Unless she just represses it and chooses not to use it anymore. But I think you have to expel your power, or is it just Ravenger that has to expel every now and then?
I think because it doesn't have that, like, raw magic.
And that's another thing that kind of annoyed me. I'm already just getting the grasp of having individual magic, but now having that layer of, like, actual raw magic, it's like, it's confusing.
Yeah, that's like what makes him so special.
Yeah, I know. Could be like the half fae aspect, which I highly doubt, or maybe because, yeah, his mother is just, like, incredibly powerful.
Oren's like full fae.
She's half fae, actually, as well.
Oh.
I know, all these half faes are getting really OP stuff.
I'm getting confused.
But how is, like, Slade's father, though? He's called the Breaker, and he's able to just break things. Like, that's so vague.
Like that. And then unbreak them?
Yeah, it's gross. I was going to say, while we are on, like, the cool magic topic, I really liked those twin guys with Queen Melina and their tandem magic. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Like, despite their terrible intentions by the sounds of it, or is it good intentions? I don't know, because it's against Melina. They could very well be good. I thought that was really cool.
Fae, well, I'm assuming they're Fae, because they're opening the bridge back to Anwen. Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like their vibes are evil, but are they only evil because they were against Melina, and then they're actually good, and now they're going to serve Oren or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're going to reignite Seventh Kingdom one way or another. And finally, we're 4 books into this Fae-esque book, and we finally have a single bargain. The word bargain has been said. But technically, I don't know if in next book it's going to be addressed whether or not Melina's end of the bargain will actually be fulfilled, because it seems like... But they left it pretty vague.
Yeah.
Like, they never said you're going to get magic. You're just going to get what you desire.
Yeah.
And, like, I still, in a way, don't know what that means for her. Obviously, we assume it was magic of sorts, but...
Or does it mean a child?
Or a child.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, but she's always wanted to rule, though. And to rule, you had to have magic.
Yeah.
But, like, they never said that. Tricky fellas. A tricky trio indeed. Oh, well. Like, I didn't really care about Melina anyway, so I was happy that she was going to get tricked.
Yeah, I very much skimmed her pages.
Yeah. Or even skipped. Alrighty, can we unravel Slade's secrets?
Yes, let's unravel Slade's secrets just as he unravels Oren.
Sure. I mean, but she doesn't have the ribbons anymore, so how do you unravel?
This is true. I apologise.
All right. Or I suppose in tandem with Slade's secrets, just everything we've learnt about like Fourth Kingdom and like his family and all that type of stuff. So we learn that Riot is not his biological brother, which is fun.
Half brother. As
soon as it was mentioned that his mother confirmed that she had an affair with just a regular Orion servant, and they said, like, it'd been happening for 11 years. I was doing the math. And I was like, yeah, right. He was like, yeah, Riot's totally not his brother.
You're that meme, like...
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was sus. But I loved that, you know, like, he remains like a brother in that sense as well. Like, it's obviously the circumstances of how they've ended up. And, like, his mother is essentially trapped in this village, unwilling to speak and all that type of stuff. Like, I'm sure, Riot holds a lot of resentment and bitterness towards Slade for that.
Was it not their own mother's fault?
Yeah, look, I don't want to victim blame, but yes. But she had every right to be defiant towards Slade's father, Mr. Breaker. And, like, it showed because all the servants and everyone, like, no one, like, outed her for it. Like, they all helped her. They wanted this, essentially. And, like, even Slade says, you treat her like garbage. Like, of course they're going to be supportive of this affair. Which I like that, though, because normally, you turn it on them and be like, you've ruined, like, a whole family dynamic. But, like, if your king is an arsehole and he's not providing you the love or the emotional needs, surely, you seek elsewhere, unfortunately. It's alright in fictional worlds, not necessarily alright in the real world. Just, I'm not condoning cheating, but yeah, it's just a super traumatic situation because, the Breaker is has murdered Riot's father, and then he was en route to murder him and his mother, and then Rip is like, fuck you. I like that showdown, though.
Yeah. I do love a good old, kind of, no, Dad, it's your dream kind of situation.
Yeah, I liked the mocking because obviously his father was like, you need to control, you need to not be emotional, I'm not raising a weak king, blah, blah, blah. And then, he's like, when his father was getting emotional about the affair revelation, Slade's like, have control, you know, being a bit of a cocky little son of a bitch, but we love to see it.
It's giving... But Professor, I must not tell lies.
Yeah, exactly. It's the, what is it, malicious compliance.
Yes. Ooh,
of it all.
Words.
Yes. In that scene, because you're referencing Harry Potter a fair bit at this point, it's I imagine the battle of, like, Voldemort, Harry with the wand magic to, like, the rots and the breaking sort of aura magic as well. It was pretty cool. And then he tore a rip into the dimension and then fell through it. And everything else got sucked through it, I guess, as well. And then we got brushed over as to really how he became king again in Fourth Kingdom. Like, he just rose the ranks. He challenged the king. He had the greater magic.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. No one's questioned it since.
Yeah, well, I guess it's, in a world where power is...
the defining factor.
Yeah, then if you come with this kind of unbeatable, very OP, then people are going to bow down at your feet.
Yeah. I feel like even, like, the Breaker is kind of OP. And even the Second Kingdom's queen, I forget her name, but she has that, like, pain, like, voodoo doll type of power as well. Like, what other Slade secrets did we unravel? I suppose it's not much it, but he's trying his best to protect both the village and his kingdom.
Is he doing too much, though, in the way of putting Orin first?
Yes. And they even said in the book that they don't know each other that well, and, like, they're risking the entire world for each other.
Because, again, what happened to hello, my name is, like, what's your favourite colour?
Like, take me on a date.
Food. Yeah, take me out.
Wine and dine me. Where's the basic questions?
Yeah, and I do understand, in these sort of books that it is about the end of the world is coming, so we have to save the world. But I would like for some relevancy in the book and to kind of bring it back to the real world, I guess. If that, there was... It could be a very small scene in a very small chapter if it had to be, but I'd love for, I don't know, the two main characters to be lying in bed or something, and then they just go, you know what, I don't know what your favourite colour is, or like, you're sick, let me cook your favourite meal.
Or, like, let's play 20 questions, or something like that. Just having, like, a real downtime moment. Because they've both got their angst against each other, because he's angsty because of the whole rot situation. He had to rot her into stasis, and then she's all angsty because she doesn't want to tell him about what happened to her back.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just that constant push and pull of pain, and it's devastating.
It's devastating.
It's just heartbreaking. Oren's been through a lot, and it breaks my fucking heart. Again,
Yeah.
read it, people just like the broken main characters.
Which says a lot about the world.
The fantasy books and stuff as well. And obviously, Slade is harboring all the guilt of essentially trapping these people for eternity in this little area.
Because if they leave, they're gonna die.
There's a particular radius, I guess, and they start dying. But then they've all popped back into Anwen, presumably anyway. What do you think they've died? What do you think happened to them? Because obviously at the end, Slade made another rip for Oren to escape, but then it eventuated that the other rip back in Deadwell had closed up and all the people gone.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they were ripped back through it, maybe, or... I think it would be too devastating to just have them... Died, yeah. Died.
Could it just be a consequence of Slade choosing Oren over everybody else again?
I mean, maybe, but I think the rips are truly out of his control. And it's just when he's highly emotional. And I think, it would be too devastating that it's like, well, this is your consequence, this is your punishment for choosing to use your power for good.
You're right, he'll just be an extreme depressed sad boy. But don't worry, Book Talk will love him. He'll
need the sex to feel better.
He will. Probably a bit more into the plot. We've just gone a little bit all over the place, but that's fine. How do we feel about Manu, or Manu, however you want to say his name? I thought he was a bro. I thought he was a homie. I thought he was the best buds.
I thought, but then, life.
His loyalties lie to his sister, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that, it was going to be... I thought that he would have been the one to go back and be like, hey, maybe we should just, leave them alone. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And then he's like, nah, sorry. I don't know. It's so out of character, I think. The betrayal. Because I just thought that he's like, my sister's queen or whatever, that's chill. I get to go along for the ride. Great times. You do you. I'm going to chill. I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah, I suppose. But, chooses to be the advisor. When he was explaining to Oren about, the conflux is pretty much like a formality trial, essentially.
Yeah, it's a show.
Yeah, he painted a really good, picture of it to be a show, and even Riot said it. So I feel like it must have been true in a way if Riot said the same thing, and even Manu. And then I was suspicious of Riot because he was being a little whiny bitch this entire book. So I thought, is he gonna do something? But then as soon as Manu kidnapped Oren, suddenly I hate the guy, of course.
What did we think of Rissa dying / not dying?
We don't know that yet. Hojat says she's not dead yet.
Yeah, well, she's obviously not dead.
I mean, it sucked. I don't know. I just hate... Is there other ways to get her other than kidnapping? I feel like because she's been kidnapped by the Red Raids, she's been... How else has she been... I don't know. I think that was pretty much only it. I suppose Rip technically bought her. And her crew, but I don't know. Because it got to a point, I feel like she would have changed her mind. She would have sacrificed herself. She would have been like, all right, I'm going to go. Because Riot says it's a show and Manu says it's a show. Yeah. I'm just going to go. But obviously Slade would never let her. But back to Rissa and that. I reckon she won't be dead because, her and Osric are too much of a thing.
Yeah, I was like, why? I was actually mad when she was allegedly killed off. Because I was like, well, what was the point of all those chapters?
Yeah. I think she'll be fine. I think, Hojat said that they missed her heart. So, she hasn't been bleeding out and because they didn't take the knife out. But I don't know. I thought Osric was just very dramatic.
Yeah.
When he was, cowering over her.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you've known her for, 5 minutes. Relax.
Yeah. You're in love with her. It's fun.
It's giving. Mates are so rare, but you have a mate as well.
Yeah. Yes.
But it was upsetting when he said we have to make mistakes together. Because they have they have that banter, but it's but why do you have? I don't understand when their authors write these male characters that they have the arrogance to be like, yeah, we're gonna sleep with each other one day, it's definitely gonna happen. I'm like, bro, you don't fucking know that. And it's always the men who are arrogant and cocky about that. I've not seen any female main character be like, yeah, we're definitely gonna bone later and it's gonna be our quirky little mistake, but we're gonna enjoy it and then fall in love. It's always the men that are leading that charge, and I'm sick of it.
I'm sick of it. Yeah, I just want, I don't know, even I hate now the trope of the broken woman or whatever, and she is she's like, I'm going to be on top because I'm reclaiming my power. And like,
yes. Or I initiate
like,
because I...
Yeah, you're allowed to have your trauma, and you don't have to, if you don't want to have sex for a while, that's fine. And you don't have to,
But now now it sounds like we're saying if you've had sexual trauma, like you have to cower away. Like, no.
I'm not saying you have to cower away. I'm just saying that, I don't know, I'm just sick of it.
Yeah, fair enough. Too many books like it these days. Maybe we need to, I think it's coming up to Christmas, so we're going to have much more lighthearted content. Because I realised after, The Haunting Adeline, it's just depressing.
I'm just ruined. I'm ruined from Adeline. I've still not recovered.
Yeah, fair. I will not financially recover from this.
Yeah.
And the book truly is just, Oren needs to train. She needs to eventually talk about everything that's happened. It's like, as soon as she wakes up, like, I'm sick of Slade being like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Every, like, other chapter, it's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And when they're out in the village and she hears people whispering about her being Midas's, like, whore and she stole his power, like, a couple of times Slade was like, what's wrong? And she's like, I don't want to tell you. But then she acts defiant, with her head up high. She kind of, in a way, accepts that that's what they're going to think, but she's still going to look, like, mighty about it. Like, she's not going to be held down by it. But then in this enclosed space, she's like, oh, they're talking bad about me and I don't want to have you involved. It's like, you have the authority and power to, be brave. And maybe it's just, I don't know, they bring it down to the Fae being super overprotective and their emotions are heightened.
Control themselves.
Stuff too, I guess. Yeah. Ironically, no one truly has control.
Oh my god, my phone is like possessed and it keeps opening and shutting apps all by itself.
Oh.
Okay, I think it's fine. Sorry. It was just like lighting up and I was like, what is happening?
Obviously, I enjoyed when Oren was all excited about exploring the castle and the city, but obviously the reception was pretty awkward because of all the rumours and like the village or town or kingdom perception of her believing the rumours.
I felt like, and again, I'm like, Slade is, like the guy who everyone outside of his kingdom thinks he's a bad guy, but within his kingdom he's beloved. So I didn't like that, people in his kingdom were like, she's the whore who stole power, now she's just gonna steal King Ravinger's or whatever. And it's like, surely his people should be like, well, I'm sure the king knows what he's doing, I'm sure there must be more to it. Yeah, there was more trust within him. But I suppose it just comes down to Kyla's power and being able to manipulate the rumours and the voices and all that type of shit anyway. Because, at this point, no one really knows the truth about what happened in Ranhold. But I thought, your kingdom, is beloved to you. Like, surely they trust you and they trust your judgment. And if they see you with the gilded girl, they think, all right, he's fine. Yeah, I don't know. My favourite moment, if I had to pick a favourite moment in this book, it was when Oren was on the roof or on the highest floor on a balcony or wherever the hell she was. And she was just like basking in the sun and the sun was singing to her. I'm like, this is so fucking sweet. Yes.
It sings like home or something like that. It was like, hey, did I not say that?
Yes, definitely.
Because her parents call her little son, it's going to be significant.
And then what I was thinking is, I was like, well, does that mean that the gold, like, maybe that's just the beginning of her power, and her power is actually, like, something. Or it's going to, and once she's back in, and when
possibly
there will be bigger manifestations of her power. Yeah,
I'm just thinking of, like, the mate thing between, like, or the mate theory between, like, Slade and Oren, and, like, if I feel like there has to be a sort of balance. And back to the sun, like, if she's, like,
the moon,
I don't know, related to the sun in some way, then what is he compared to? Light, just general light and darkness. But I feel like, I suppose, I was going to say, if you think of the moon, you don't really think of rot. But then if you think of the sun, you don't really think of gold. I don't know, a bit of a reach. Oh, they balance each other out in one way or another.
Shall we talk about the ending? And she's at the conclave.
The ending. Yeah, because it took us so fucking long to get there.
And Second Kingdom, she's being whipped or cleansed.
They're in Second Kingdom
to go stand for trial, and then gets taken into this, I don't know, little like room overseeing things, and they're asking her questions, and then they're basically like, lol, you're guilty, suck my willy.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to meet like all the actual ruling kings and queens there, so that was pretty cool. It kind of ties everything together, because it really, up until this point, it's been about 4th, 5th and 6th, and then 3rd last book. So it's nice that like everyone's involved now.
Everyone's involved.
And obviously 5th Kingdom has their new heir, and his magic is about having impenetrable skin or something, which is fun.
Yeah, so there's one who like has a snake or whatever, and he keeps...
Yeah, that's the First Kingdom.
Yeah, getting his snake to bite the impenetrable skin ones.
Yeah, I think it's also to show off to Oren, like, this is who you're going to deal with now, almost. Like, this kid's unstoppable.
So that's fine. But anyway, and so she's pronounced guilty, and Slade's there trying to save her or whatever, and her power is not working, or it's
not working because of the runes. The rune is just showing that... I think it's seeping the power kind of out, but not permanently, just in a unable to use type of way.
Yeah.
And also reveals the power. I think the First Kingdom king said it was like his father used to his magic was based around runes.
Yeah.
But like, if he's not around anymore, why is the magic still around? Is my question.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
why does that get to linger?
Yeah, why do you get to use that power still with his...
Because then now we're adding another layer of magic to it, I suppose. It could just be a fae thing.
But then also, this is where it's such an inconsistency, because, you have to have power to rule, but then I guess magic is kind of connected to the fae, but then everyone hates the fae.
I don't think everyone necessarily hates the fae. I suppose, there was conflict which led to the fae being cut off, but yeah. I suppose it also comes down to, because we learn in Slade's backstories, is that obviously the mortals or the Orions have been breeding with the fae for hundreds and hundreds of years. So like, obviously the magic is still going to be there. Interesting that like, if the wielder is dead and the magic is still around. But yeah, I liked how we see how obviously manipulative and vindictive Kyla is, and like contorting the dialogue between Oren and Midas and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, she can like change what people have said. Which
is weird. Why would they trust her to share that though, if they know that's her power?
Yeah. And also, isn't that just so OP?
Yeah, it is OP. Like, I don't know, there seems to be I suppose they needed an answer to why 2 monarchs were dead. So like, it's easy, they would rather pin it on Oren than be like, alright, Kyla, you weren't even in the room, but how are you able to grab these little audio bits, Like, no one thought that she could potentially be fucking everything over.
Yeah, and then also the fact that this whole thing kind of stems from her being like, she killed Midas, were you in the room? No, but she did it. And it's like, well, no, there's no actual proof that she did it.
Yeah, exactly. And even Oren, when they're talking about the gold, she's like, it's my gold. And they're like, no.
You stole it. It's like,
wait. So... Because we had in the beginning Mist being like, she stole his power, blah, 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 and she wasn't even in the room, and yet she's just disappeared.
Yeah.
What happened to Mist?
Don't know. She's gone.
Like Vaughn.
Yeah.
Never to be seen again. Like, what happened to her? Because if she's the one that declared Oren stole his power, like, surely she would have been a witness to this fucking conclux.
Yeah.
But I suppose, at the end of the day, they just want an answer to why the monarchs were dead, and it's unfortunately Oren. So they declare her to be guilty. Guilty means execution straight away, and yes, Slade comes and saves the day
by ripping a new portal.
But I found really cool is that I think it's either Second Kingdom's son, he had the power to like create a barrier, but it's like sheets, like linen. It was so cool.
Yeah.
But then he became unconscious, and then the magic was still there, so now I'm confused.
I think that this magic lore, Lore, is not written out very well.
That greatly. Yeah, I would assumed if you're passed out... I suppose the example could have been similar with Oren, because she was, like, essentially passing out as she was spazzing out with her magic, so, like, probably makes sense. But anyway, Rip, overly emotional as he is, again, tears, or rips another tear within the worlds, presumably to Anwin, and encourages Oren to jump through. And they have that moment where it's like, I'll come find you in another life and all that stuff, assuming she's gonna die. Like, it was cute.
Yeah. I love that. I love that trope.
those like declarations of
Yeah,
sacrifice.
I will find you in whatever life, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. But then, simultaneously, we're back in Seventh Kingdom with Queen Melina, and these twin fae complete their little ritual, and suddenly the bridge is back.
Yeah, and then they hear this stomping, the fae are coming.
The fae are coming.
The footsteps.
It's been 4 books, and they're finally coming.
Yeah. And it's like, was it ever built up that they were going to be coming? Like,
I always thought it was more them going there, not necessarily back. But I suppose now we have 2 entrances. And then, of course, Deadwell Village, the tear there has obviously disappeared with the people around it. So who knows? Obviously, any predictions for the next book? Because, it's probably about a month by the time this is uploaded, or within a couple of weeks perhaps.
Yeah. I wonder if there will be a time jump, first of all.
I wouldn't think so. I'd say they pick up right where they left off.
I want to see...
Because realistically, what would Oren be doing in Anwen as soon as she arrives? What could be...
Well, I want Oren to be reunited with her parents, for one.
Oh, of course, but that's probably not her first thought.
Yeah. I don't know, or maybe, I want there to be, I don't know, like Avatar, where there's clans of people, and so, heaps of people have the gold power or whatever.
Oh, yep.
I want her to learn how to use it to her advantage. I want her to learn it offensively and defensively.
Yeah, instead of just, emotionally. But, she has been trying, though. When she was captured, she was trying to seep the gold out, and she had that, little ball that she's holding on to, just in case. But, yeah, I suppose she's trying. You want her to try properly. Alright, what else do you think's gonna happen?
I really don't know. It could go anywhere. Because of all these stupid freaking plots.
Do you think Melina will get a power?
Maybe, but I think it'll be something really silly.
Just to appease the bargain?
Yeah, we said you'd get magic. We didn't say what type of magic.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think the trio will play a huge part in the next book?
Not a huge part, but...
I feel like we're going to get maybe a Pruin point of view, just because we need someone to be able to tell us what's going on with the troops and how much of Aurea they're conquering. Obviously, I feel like there's going to be Slade, and everyone who is magically inclined will feel a shift in magic, and they'll realise, fuck, something is on in Seventh Kingdom.
Yeah, they'll feel, the pulse of power.
Yeah. I wonder if any more of Slade's old household will be making an appearance.
Yeah, true.
And they'll be like, Slade, what the fuck happened to everybody? And he'll be like, I ripped him into this existence.
And then I want to know if the Fae are coming, what their intentions are. Are they taking over?
Oh no, they want to conquer Aurea. Yeah, that's what they want to do.
Yeah. And then do Oren and Slade become High King and High Queen?
Oh my god. No.
And then will there be a pregnancy in the epilogue?
No. Hell no. A golden baby. A half gold, half rot situation. Yeah, nah. I would like to know how Oren actually ended up in Aurea, because it's still up in the air.
Yeah, it just says she was taken.
I feel like the bridge had been closed for ages as well. So how did that happen? Perhaps there's probably another power that someone has that can rip, or not necessarily rip a dimension,
or
but
maybe
a portal.
Maybe because she's probably younger than Slade. Was she on the estate or something, or near the estate, and they didn't know each other?
But then she would have been sucked in as well, or just in general, or do you think she would have been sucked in?
Oh yeah, true. Because if she was sucked in, she'd be in Deadwell, hey.
And they would have surely crossed paths.
I'm an idiot.
It's okay. That's why I'm here. I'm carrying our one brain cell for the moment. See, and that's where I thought it was going to go when we got Slade's backstory. As interesting and as skimmy as I read it, I thought they were going to have a little cross path situation.
Yeah.
I wonder if Slade's mum told Slade about his prophecy or a message for him in regards to potentially Oren.
Yeah.
Like back in the day.
Mm.
Or I wonder if she might regain her magic if presumably they're in Anwen and she has a message for him.
Yeah.
Because that's just such an OP power to have to then just be taken away. Again, what's with female characters having OP magic?
The power taken away.
And being silenced? Have we not learnt from Sarah J. Maas?
Or maybe that's why she went silent, because she had a prophecy of what was to come.
Ooh, I like that.
And it was if she tells him, it'll be too much pressure.
Fair enough. Oh, and also Riot is officially commander because that's all he wants to be. Like, he's sick. He got really sick and tired of being the decoy. But like all this has happened in a relatively short span of time, and only in this moment has he started being pissy about it. Like, I don't get it. But I suppose because he loves his mother and he wants to protect the village, and like that's his main focus. But no, the constant outbursts.
And a kingdom since burned to ash. Loved
a
princess who loved her kingdom.
Yes. And then, pretty much big cliffhanger for the next book, which comes out 7th of December. Fun. We're a bit over the place. This book, it was too big.
It was too big. There was too much plot. There was actually nothing happening within that plot.
Honestly, that sounds like a contradiction. Nothing happened. There was too much plot. It's weirdly stagnant and weirdly productive, but like, it's very slow.
There was too much plot and not a lot of acceleration.
Sure.
There were just like all things happening at the same time without any progression. And then suddenly it all came to a head. And now Oren's gone.
I did not expect that to happen. Oh yeah, I was just remembering when I messaged you about the Rip revelation. I was like, what the fuck? Interesting.
Yeah, I was like, lol.
Interesting narrative decision.
That is a choice.
That is a choice that was made, and now you have to suffer the consequences. So now does Oren have like raw magic as well? And if you're overly emotional enough, could she rip into the world?
Well, that's what I'm thinking with that piece of rot in her. Like if she was really upset,
Alright, so what are we going to do to make her really upset? I feel like she's been through a lot, and like, once you've lost the ribbons, like, I feel like there's nothing else that could get her that upset.
Find out her parents are dead.
Ooh. Or even Slade getting, like, stabbed or something. Fun fact, it would actually be Riot because they did switcheroo.
True.
Plot twist. We should write a book. Alrighty, I'm done with this. Can we go to the stars that listen?
Let's go to the stars that listen, yes.
Yeah, sorry, this is all over the place, but like, I don't know. I'm getting tired, Raven. The fifth book better be good. Let's go. Wrap it up. I don't know how many books it's planned for.
I think it was 5. I think I read it would be the 5th and final.
5 is a good ending point, but I feel like there is still so much to do.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be a big boy book. Maybe it'll be like 800
Maybe
pages.
everyone just dies and there's a massive reset. I'll be happy with that. Oren and Rip a tear into the universe and it just becomes a black hole, sucks everyone in, everyone dies, good night.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Let's go to the stars that listen. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a segment we do at the end of our episodes where we go and find funny, interesting, relatable reviews. And we read a 5-star review and a 1-star review, but we start with the 1-star reviews because we don't like to leave on a negative note, even though it's very hard with these books.
Except if it's a book we like, you get defensive with 1-star reviews.
Alright, I will go first. I have a couple.
Oh no.
1-star, DNF'd at 460 pages.
Wow.
Raven Kennedy, please, I beg of you, find a scrap of originality or creativity. Every female character is the exact same weak, helpless, whiny, petite figure who hates a specific male but can't do anything unless a new male helps her do it.
Oh yeah, I hard agree though.
You could Google character tropes and pick different ones and see how they mix. Each character doesn't have to be the same person with a different name.
Oh my god. This
book was entirely Oren being a petulant child, Slade being guilt-ridden and reliving his daddy issues, and yet another pending war entirely hinged on that Oren is just a worthless evil saddle. Honestly, the writing is so repetitive it needs a good editor, and again we see the same insta-love nonsense beginning with Osric and Rissa copying Oren Slade's romance arc almost word for word. The side characters hardly mattered at all in the time I read it. This book also played into my least favourite tropes. Traumatised women can only be healed by an equally traumatised man, slut-shaming, insta-love, miscommunication, etc. My eyes were rolling like marbles when Kennedy did the whole mention a mysterious her, but surprise, it's his mother, not his lover bit.
Damn, Kenzie. These 1-stars are popping off.
Yeah, here's a couple, like, another one.
Oh, wow, you're going. You're still going.
It read, like, from Blood and Ash, and that's a very bad thing. I think there's stuff stolen from Akatar too. Aggressively repetitive. I have absolutely no clue what's going on. There was no meaningful character development. Can I repeat that I literally barely read this book and still understood the end? Overly descriptive, probably needed to be in order to get that page count. Why is this anything other than a trilogy? I enjoyed book 3, which makes this book frustrating.
Aww.
This series has one of the largest piles of unfortunate names. This book turned me off all the other books in the series.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot.
Okay.
This shows how you truly feel about this book. I don't think you've ever had this many 1 stars on any of the other potties.
That was all like
this. Big paragraphs.
Big paragraphs, yeah.
So was it really like 3, but with big paragraphs?
It was 2 big paragraphs.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And I usually don't like reading those ones, but
it resonated with you.
Yeah.
It thrummed your cooey.
I was going to say my cooey was resonating. So I was going to rate this 4 stars until the last 100 pages or so. Now I'm sat here reeling, sobbing, confused, and fuming. So whilst this is a 5-star review, it does, lend to my it suffers the last 100 page syndrome. Is it good, or did it have a good... Yeah. And that's my only 5-star because this book is shit.
Hi everyone, Claire here. Towards the end of our recording session for this episode, my audio stopped recording, and so I'm just missing my 1-star and 5-star reviews, so I'm just gonna reiterate those really quickly, and we'll see how I can weave this in as organically and naturally as possible. So my first 1-star review: why was this book 700 pages? Nothing happened for 90% of it. The romantic relationship wasn't even written well. And then my second 1-star review: possibly the worst one in the series. Nothing happens for the majority of the book in terms of character development or the plot. It's a lot of going around in circles for no apparent reason. I don't know why this needed to be 5 total books, which is fair enough. Alright, and then my 5-star reviews are: Raven Kennedy is killing me with this cliffhanger, which is fair enough. It's quite a gnarly cliffhanger. And once again, we don't search too hard for these reviews, so these are easily available on Goodreads. So, yep, hitting the outro now.
Yes. You can find us on Instagram at letterboxbookclub. From there, our link tree is in our bio.